Welcome back to More Law on Fox 19, your legal questions live, with local broadcaster and award-winning reporter Deb Haas and Cincinnati personal injury attorney Don Moore, recognized by Ohio super lawyers. More answers, more help, more law on Fox 19.
Welcome back to More Law. We are getting a lot of calls today about traffic accidents. You just heard that the last caller. Don, you had something you wanted the folks at home to see.
Yeah, Deb, we've made a little list of common causes of car wrecks and distracted driving, fatigue, drunk driving, speeding, aggressive driving. Those are things that I think the chief is probably, both in his law enforcement career and now with this city, has seen it, and we've got an upsurge in fatals. Why is that?
You know, it could be any number of factors. We talk about distracted driving. First and foremost, folks should never text while driving. They're more distracted texting than, of course, talking on a cell phone. Even on a cell phone, there's a distraction. They shouldn't be talking on a handset, but that's not against the law here yet, but it should be hands-free.
Well, and they just passed a texting law.
Yes,
just
the texting law. I'm so happy.
So that's on its way.
I can't tell you how many times folks are driving and texting, and you're not paying attention to the road. You know, the other thing, seat belts. We need to wear our seat belts. I can't tell you how many times lives have been saved because of the seat belt.
So tell me, what does the Cincinnati Police Department do to try and cut down on fatals when they see that they're up? What does your department do?
Well, we look for patterns and trends. And I was talking briefly about, I use Columbia Parkway as an example because it's a street, frankly, it can be very dangerous. When you look at speed, distracted driving, certainly it's no secret that we have Cincinnati Police motors and traffic officers deployed there for the sole purpose of abating this type of driving. And it's a very dangerous street. We had one of our supervisors that was critically injured in a head-on collision on that street. And so we will go to the places where we're seeing fatalities.
And that is so sad, and we've got...
It very is, and it was sad on the other caller.
Yeah, we had a fellow just a minute ago,
daughter.
And I understand we've got another one.
Another call about a traffic accident. Ron in Trenton, your daughter was involved in an accident, and you said that the police report, some information is blacked out, is that right?
Yes, it was. I got a copy of the police report, and I had numerous attorneys involved in trying to help me with this matter. She was struck by a vehicle on her bicycle here, and she was air-carried to Miami Valley and was in a coma for a month. And so I've got pictures of the accident, and I got a copy of the police report, and there was no alcohol or drug test type done on the driver of the vehicle. And pretty much the whole police report that I got a copy of is blacked out. Is there some agency or somebody who can help me with this matter, pursuing it?
Chief, your thoughts on that? I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, one of the things we see commonly, we get police reports all the time, and one of the things that we see very commonly is that they'll block out Social Security numbers.
Yes.
And things like that. Why would they block out anything besides that?
Well, I mean, if they're going to block out, say, the other motorist's name, it's important to do that for, really, it's a safety issue. I mean, let's say, for example, we have a traffic collision, and someone's angry and they retaliate against the other party. Now they have their address, they have their name, have personal information. And that's not an uncommon thing. I know they do it in California.
Is that right?
But certainly that information can certainly, through the courts, can be revealed. Yeah. But it's just that, you know, if you're requesting a traffic collision report, that personal information is not necessary.
Most of the agencies that I've had contact with around here, they just block out the Social Security number. And that
makes sense.
Yeah, because you can get a hold of that other person. And your insurance company can get a hold of them or contact them to get their insurance, because if you've been hurt, sometimes that's the only information you've got.
Yes.
Although one of the things a question I'd have for the caller, did they give the people who were actually involved in a traffic accident a little slip that had name and address and contact information like a lot of the agencies do?
Yeah, I actually had his full information. What was blacked out on the police report is the details of the accident, and people they questioned their reports on the accident. It's all blacked out.
Well, you can. There is a Freedom of Information Act if it's critical data that shouldn't be eliminated.
And I'm not
Right.
sure. I'd have to look into it. If
Yeah.
it's a Cincinnati initiated traffic report, we can look into it. But I know some personal information is, as a rule, redacted.
Okay.
All right, let's switch gears now from traffic accidents to crime in some of our neighborhoods. Mike in Price Hill. Mike, you feel that the crime isn't being addressed in Price Hill the way it is in some other neighborhoods?
Absolutely not. I mean, I'm a big advocate of the police, I have to say that. But
I know our guest appreciates that.
but the Lower Price Hill, where the new school is functioning, Euler, it's only a 12-block area, and there is more crime in that 12-block area that I'm sure goes unreported. There's like a yin and yang relationship between the police and the prostitutes and the drug dealers, and I'm just,
Well,
why
let's
is
get
Price
the
Hill
chief's.
being left out of?
I'm
seems
sorry.
like it's been left away.
You said there was some kind of relationship between the police and.
Oh yeah, you see the police pull over all the time. They'll be talking to the known prostitutes in the area. They'll talk
Yes.
to the known drug dealers, and I mean, they come to the community council and they talk about this and they talk about this, but nothing gets done. I mean, and it's sad. There's a lot of good people living down there.
I agree, and just so you know, we have put, and I know Avondale and Over the Rhine have been two areas that we've put a lot of focus on in the recent past, but over the last month we put some overtime details in that very area. Captain Neville, who is the District 3 commander, has done a phenomenal job in that area, which covers East Price Hill. I will tell you, I'm excited about some of the work that is being done over there. I mean, with a 20% reduction in homicide just in District 3, the work's getting done. And certainly, one homicide, one shooting is one too many, but I'm very confident that the commander that works there is doing a phenomenal job. He's empowering his people to go out and problem solve and make a change. So we're working very hard to make a difference. As it relates to your observation of police officers having conversation with drug users or drug dealers or prostitutes, many times that happens because they're trying to get information. It's not just they're having a friendly chat. Many times they're getting information, and if they stop someone who you believe to be involved in drug dealing, it might be a situation where the officer did not have enough to make the arrest. We can't just arrest someone because we believe that they're involved in drug sales unless we see a hand-to-hand kind of situation. But we do encourage the community to call us and report that we see someone on the corner of Walk and Don't Walk wearing a green shirt, black pants, and he's selling drugs. These kind of calls come in all the time.
And you got to have probable cause.
We got to have it. We got to have reasonable suspicion to detain. We have to have probable cause to arrest, and we can't just unilaterally just stop people because they're in a neighborhood that folks are complaining about.
All right, we've all got to work together. That's the message. We will take a commercial break right now. We'll be right back with more calls. The Kentucky and Ohio Bar Associations require we give the names and addresses of the folks on the show, so here we go. Today, Chief James Craig at the Cincinnati Police Department, 310 Ezra Charles Drive, Cincinnati, 45214, 513-352-3536. And Don Moore, the Moore Law Firm, 1060 Nimitzview Drive, Cincinnati, 45230, 513-232-2000. You can also find all that information at Fox19.com. Now, welcome back, Chief. Thanks again for being with us today. And Don, I think you wanted to talk with the Chief a little bit about his background.
Yeah, you have a phenomenal background. You have a bachelor's degree.
Yes.
And what was that?
That was in business.
Okay, in business.
Right.
And you're in the business of running a large department.
Large department.
And you've got a master's degree.
In public administration.
And you're working on your doctorate degree.
Yes, in organizational leadership.
And you got those degrees while working on a job, right?
All the degrees, trust me, balancing work and going to school. I guess I would be considered a lifelong learner.
So next year you'll be Dr. Chief or Chief Doctor?
Well, a couple of years. I still have to write the dissertation. So.
It sounds like you have more than the 24 hours in a day that I deal with.
Oh, I don't know. I balance. It's tough.
I would imagine.
But it's good. I've enjoyed it. And certainly working on a doctorate, it's really my focus is in policing. And I have the great opportunity of being part of this organization that's doing some wonderful work. So that makes the work easy. It really does.
Super.
Glad you're here, and I know that Anthony in Northside is glad you're here. Anthony, you had a question, I believe, about how the chief sees the casino impacting the city?
Yes. I have a question. I'm just starting to, feel safe going downtown, and I'm just wondering how the chief believes that how he looks at the casino, like how he believes it's going to affect the community more or less.
You know, I'm excited about the casino. One, it's going to bring business into the city. Certainly having started my policing career in Detroit, pre-casino, Detroit has 3 casinos. And when I visit Detroit now, and since the casinos, downtown Detroit is one of the safest places in the city. And it's no secret, Detroit's viewed as one of the more violent places in the country. But downtown Detroit is safe. I've been to other places, and it's the same thing. So this notion that there's going to be a lot of crime that comes into the city because of the casino, I wouldn't be concerned about it. I think it's a plus for this city. It's an enhancement. Downtown is safe now and will continue to be safe once the casino doors open.
And you wanted to talk a little bit, I think, about we were discussing the whole one neighborhood, the 52 neighborhoods,
yes.
and I think that's what you really want to focus on as we have, I guess, a last message to the viewers today.
Yeah, one city, one neighborhood. We're in this together. You know, and I talked a little bit earlier about the importance of neighbors coming out to other neighborhoods and working on abating violent crime. Violent crime is the single most thing that can really create a bad reputation to the city. Cincinnati is a great city with great people, and we can only do it if we work together as one. We can't say, well, it happened in one neighborhood, so it doesn't bother me, I'm not involved in that activity. No, that's the wrong attitude. Thriving communities are those communities that recognize we're in it together, and we have to roll up our sleeves and help our neighbors. One city, one neighborhood.
And you mentioned helping kids who are at risk get a
Oh,
good
absolutely. I'm so excited about the work the men and women are doing in the Cincinnati Police Department with our boot camp, city camp, children trauma intervention. We just completed our first one at Rothenburg. We're now have moved that effort to South Avondale School, and then our third effort will be on the west side of town. So really this is about changing and saving lives. These young people need us, and we need to be about the business of changing those behaviors.
All right, Chief Craig, thanks for joining us. And next week, Don, what do we have next week?
Great to see you.
Thank you.
We've got Crime and Punishment next week.
All right, looking forward to that. And please join us again next Monday morning at 9:30 when we will take your questions about the criminal justice system next week. We'll see you then.